Hello everyone! Get ready for some jaw-dropping developments coming your way on The Bold and the Beautiful this Thursday, February 5. The episode promises to deliver explosive revelations that will shake up the fashion world in Los Angeles, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of what's about to unfold. The upcoming episode centers around two major storylines that are about to collide in the most unexpected way. Ridge Forrester finds himself wrestling with overwhelming guilt, while Liam Spencer is about to stumble upon a secret so massive it could change everything we thought we knew about the newly established Logan fashion house. Liam's shocking discovery at Spencer Publications. Liam Spencer has already proven himself to be an invaluable ally to Katie Logan in her ambitious venture to establish her own fashion empire. When Katie first announced her plans to launch Logan, a fashion house bearing her family name, Liam didn't hesitate to jump in and help. His quick reflexes and technological savvy proved crucial when he managed to secure the copyright registration for the Logan name before anyone else could snatch it up. That decisive action earned him eternal gratitude from both Katie and his father Bill Spencer, who has been backing Katie's fashion dreams with his considerable resources and business acumen. However, since that initial burst of involvement, Liam has been conspicuously absent from the day-to-day operations of Logan. His attention has been pulled in other directions, primarily focusing on his responsibilities at Spencer Publications. Bill has been relying heavily on his son to negotiate and finalize crucial deals that will strengthen their media empire's position in the competitive publishing landscape. Between managing vendor contracts, pursuing advertising partnerships, and overseeing content strategy for their various publications, Liam has had his hands completely full with Spencer family business matters. This Thursday, Liam's routine visit to his father's office at Spencer Publications will turn into something far more intriguing than he could have anticipated. As he walks through the familiar corridors of the building, perhaps carrying important documents, or simply stopping by to discuss business matters with Bill, Liam will encounter a sight that stops him dead in his tracks. Standing right there in Bill's executive office, engaged in what appears to be a serious and animated conversation, is none other than Eric Forrester himself. The legendary designer's presence in Bill Spencer's domain will immediately strike Liam as peculiar. After all, Eric Forrester and Bill Spencer don't exactly run in the same professional circles, and their personal relationship has been cordial at best over the years. Liam's mind will race with possibilities as he tries to make sense of this unexpected encounter. Why would the patriarch of Forrester Creations be meeting privately with his father and Katie? Being the sharp businessman he is, Liam might initially speculate that Eric is there to offer some friendly advice, or perhaps provide mentorship to Katie as she navigates the treacherous waters of launching a new fashion label. Maybe Eric is simply being neighborly, offering guidance based on his decades of experience in the industry. After all, the Forresters and Logans have a long, complicated history together, and it wouldn't be entirely out of character for Eric to extend a helping hand to Katie in her new endeavor. The bombshell revelation. But Liam's assumptions will be shattered when the truth comes spilling out. Eric Forrester isn't just offering casual advice or serving as an informal consultant to the Logan fashion house. The reality is far more significant and potentially scandalous. Eric has officially signed on as Logan's head designer, bringing his legendary talent, decades of industry expertise, and unmatched creative vision to Katie's startup fashion label. This revelation will leave Liam absolutely speechless. The implications are enormous and far-reaching. Eric Forrester, the man who built Forrester Creations from the ground up and turned it into one of the most prestigious fashion houses in the world, has now aligned himself with a direct competitor. The weight of this decision cannot be overstated. Eric isn't just lending his name or making a cameo appearance, he's taking on the pivotal role of head designer, the creative heart of the entire operation. When Bill, Katie, and Eric notice Liam's stunned expression and realize he's processing this bombshell information, they'll gather around him with a unified request. The trio will emphasize the critical importance of keeping Eric's involvement with Logan completely confidential. They need absolute discretion until Logan is ready to make its grand entrance into the fashion world with its inaugural fashion preview. The element of surprise is essential to their strategy. They want to control the narrative and make a splash on their own terms, not have the news leak out prematurely through industry gossip or social media speculation. Katie will likely explain how having Eric's participation remain secret until the big reveal will maximize the impact and generate tremendous buzz when Logan finally pulls back the curtain. Bill, with his media mogul instincts, understands the value of timing and strategic information control. And Eric himself probably recognizes that keeping things quiet protects him from the inevitable fallout and difficult conversations that will come when the Forrester family discovers what he's been up to. But here's where things get complicated for Liam. Can he really keep such a monumental secret from the Forrester family? Especially when he has personal and professional connections to that world. Will Liam give his word to maintain silence, knowing full well that when this information eventually surfaces, it could create shockwaves throughout the Los Angeles fashion community? The pressure on Liam to decide where his loyalties lie will be intense. Ridge's mounting guilt and regret. Meanwhile, completely unaware that his father is about to stage one of the most dramatic comebacks in fashion industry history, Ridge Forrester is dealing with his own emotional turmoil. Ridge has been carrying around a heavy burden of guilt that's been eating away at him for some time now. The source of his distress: his decision to force Eric into retirement from Forrester Creations. The circumstances surrounding Eric's departure from the company he founded have clearly left Ridge with profound regrets. In Ridge's mind, Eric should still be walking the halls of Forrester Creations, contributing his wisdom and creativity to the brand he spent his entire life building. Instead, Ridge's vision of his father's current lifestyle is one of mundane, routine, endless pickleball games at the country club, rounds of golf with other retirees, and perhaps some gardening or other hobbies to fill the time. Ridge's perception of his father's retirement is tinged with sadness and regret. He knows deep down that Eric didn't want to step away from fashion. The industry was Eric's passion, his life's work, his legacy. Being pushed into retirement wasn't Eric's choice, it was a decision that was made for him, perhaps hastily, perhaps with good intentions about protecting Eric's health or reputation, but ultimately against Eric's wishes. Now, with the passage of time allowing for reflection, Ridge is beginning to question whether he made the right call. The guilt is manifesting as second thoughts and serious reconsideration of that fateful decision. Could Ridge be preparing to swallow his pride and extend an olive branch to his father? Might he actually consider asking Eric to return to Forrester Creations and reclaim his rightful place in the company? If Ridge does decide to approach Eric with an invitation to come back, the timing couldn't be more ironic. Just as Ridge contemplates bringing his father back into the Forrester fold, Eric has already committed himself to Logan, Forrester Creations' newest and potentially most dangerous competitor. The collision course between these two storylines promises explosive drama when the truth finally comes to light. The burning question remains, will Ridge actually follow through and ask Eric to return, and if he does, how will Eric respond, knowing he's already pledged his talents to Katie's venture? Thursday's episode will set the stage for what promises to be one of the most dramatic confrontations in recent Bold and the Beautiful history. Next, the drama is heating up on the Bold and the Beautiful, and if you thought things couldn't get more twisted at the Forrester Beach House, buckle up, because Aunt Ivy is about to turn into a full-fledged private investigator. That's right, Ivy Forrester is officially done sitting on the sidelines while mysterious newcomer Dylan cozies up to Will Spencer under the same roof as her beloved niece, Electra's boyfriend. The spinster aunt takes action. Let's address the elephant in the room. Ivy Forrester hasn't had a romantic storyline in what feels like forever. While everyone else in Los Angeles is jumping from relationship to relationship faster than you can say Logan Forrester Spencer, poor Ivy has been relegated to the role of concerned family member. But instead of channeling her energy into finding her own love interest, she's decided to become the self-appointed guardian of Electra Forrester's relationship. The irony isn't lost on longtime viewers who remember when Ivy herself was at the center of some pretty scandalous love triangles. Now she's clutching her pearls over Dylan's living arrangements with Will Spencer, and honestly, it's giving serious helicopter parent vibes, except she's technically just the aunt. The situation reached a boiling point last week when Ivy delivered what she thought was an ultimatum that would send Dylan packing. She made it crystal clear that this mysterious art teacher needed to find new accommodations, and she wasn't exactly subtle about it. Ivy's protective instincts have gone into overdrive, and she's convinced that Dylan is nothing more than a scheming opportunist with her sights set on seducing Dollar Bill Jr. himself. The Forrester matriarch in training has decided that Dylan's presence at the beach house is an absolute threat to Elektra's happiness, and she's not going to rest until she exposes whatever game Dylan is supposedly playing. Dylan's defiant stand. But here's where things get interesting. Dylan couldn't care less about Ivy's threats. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that the homeless art teacher has absolutely zero plans to pack her bags and leave Los Angeles just because some overprotective aunt told her to. In fact, Dylan seems almost amused by Ivy's attempts at intimidation. When Ivy discovers that Will's roommate is still firmly planted in the beach house, despite her stern warnings, she's going to hit the roof. We're talking full-on fury, the kind that makes you wonder if Ivy might actually be channeling some of that legendary Forrester temper that runs in the family. The fascinating part about Dylan's refusal to leave is that she's not being defiant for defiance's sake. There's a quiet confidence about her, a sense that she knows something the rest of them don't. While Ivy is busy assuming Dylan's motivations are purely romantic, that she's some lovesick girl chasing after Will, Spencer viewers at home are well aware that there's a much darker, more complex story unfolding. Dylan isn't just some random stranger who wandered into the Forrester orbit. This woman has layers, secrets, and possibly an agenda that goes far beyond crushing on her roommate. The Nancy Drew operation begins. Prepare yourselves for some truly entertaining television, because Ivy Forrester is about to launch a full-scale surveillance operation that would make even the FBI raise an eyebrow. Word on the street is that Ivy will literally set up camp outside the beach house, binoculars in hand, ready to catch Dylan and Will in what she assumes will be some scandalous romantic encounter. Picture this, a successful jewelry designer hiding in the bushes like a teenager spying on her crush, all in the name of protecting her niece's relationship. It's both hilarious and slightly concerning if we're being honest. But here's where Ivy's misguided investigation might actually stumble onto something real. While she's busy looking for evidence of flirtation and seduction, she could very well uncover secrets that are far more sinister than a simple love triangle. Ivy's convinced she's going to catch Dylan making moves on Will. But what if she discovers something that proves Dylan's entire presence in Los Angeles is built on lies? The irony is almost poetic. Ivy might write about Dylan being troubled, just for completely different reasons than she imagines. The Luna mystery deepens. Let's talk about the elephant in the beach house, that whole Luna incident. Dylan claims she ran over Luna Nozawa, but savvy viewers have picked up on some serious inconsistencies in her story. There's growing speculation that Dylan might have fabricated the entire accident just to insert herself into the lives of these wealthy, young people. Think about it, what better way to get close to the Spencer and Forrester families than to play the role of remorseful driver who needs their help? It's the perfect sob story. Homeless art teacher accidentally hurts someone rich, family takes pity on her, and suddenly, she's living rent-free in a gorgeous beach house. The more you examine Dylan's story, the more holes appear. Why was she in that specific location at that specific time? How convenient that she just happened to hit someone connected to Will Spencer's circle. And most importantly, why does she seem so comfortable in her new living situation? Showing no signs of guilt or urgency to move on. These aren't the behaviors of someone who's genuinely remorseful about a terrible accident. Instead, Dylan moves through the beach house like she belongs there, like this was always part of some master plan. Sheila Carter connection rumors. Now we're getting into the juicy fan theories that have social media absolutely buzzing. The most explosive rumor making the rounds is that Dylan might be secretly related to someone already embedded in the Bold and the Beautiful universe, and that someone could be none other than the legendary villainess Sheila Carter. Yes, that Sheila Carter, the woman who has caused more chaos in Los Angeles than a Category 5 hurricane. Could Dylan be Sheila's secret daughter planted in the Forrester world to cause mayhem? The evidence is circumstantial but intriguing. Dylan's mysterious past, her refusal to share details about her family or background, the calculated way she's positioned herself in Will and Elektra's lives, it all has the fingerprints of a classic Sheila Carter manipulation scheme. Sheila has always been brilliant at using her children and relatives as pawns in her elaborate games. If Dylan is indeed connected to Sheila, it would explain the girl's confidence in the face of Ivy's threats. After all, if you're trained by the master of manipulation herself, a few stern warnings from Aunt Ivy aren't going to intimidate you. But here's another possibility that's even more twisted. What if Dylan isn't Sheila's daughter, But someone else's secret child, Los Angeles, is famous for hidden paternity revelations and surprise family connections. Dylan could be connected to the Forresters, the Spencers, or any number of families with skeletons in their designer closets. Her obsession with staying close to this particular group might not be about Will or even Elektra. It might be about something far more personal and calculated. Will Spencer's dangerous blind spot. Poor Will Spencer. Dollar Bill Jr. has inherited his father's good looks and business acumen, but unfortunately, he also seems to have inherited that Spencer blind spot when it comes to reading people's true intentions. While Ivy is outside playing detective and Elektra is worried about her relationship, Will appears completely oblivious to the potential danger living under his own roof. He sees Dylan as a friend, a roommate in need, someone who deserves compassion and help. It's actually kind of sweet and terrifyingly naive. Will's trusting nature is going to be his downfall if Dylan really is playing him. He's defended her to Ivy, stood up for her right to stay at the beach house, and genuinely seems to believe in her story about being down on her luck. But what if Dylan has been studying Will this entire time? What if she knows exactly which buttons to push, which vulnerabilities to exploit? The most dangerous con artists are the ones who make you think they're the victim. And Dylan has been playing the sympathy card like a professional since day one. What Ivy might actually discover. So what happens when Ivy's misguided investigation accidentally stumbles onto Dylan's real secrets? The spoilers suggest that Ivy's surveillance operation is going to uncover something, but it might not be the romantic betrayal she's expecting. Instead of catching Dylan and Will in a compromising position, Ivy could discover evidence of Dylan's true identity, her real reasons for being in Los Angeles, or proof that the Luna accident was completely fabricated. Imagine Ivy crouched in those bushes, phone camera ready to capture evidence of infidelity, when instead she sees Dylan on a mysterious phone call revealing her true agenda. Or picture Ivy following Dylan on one of her outings expecting to catch her buying lingerie or planning a seduction, only to watch her meet with someone from her past who exposes her lies. The universe has a funny way of giving us what we need rather than what we want. And Ivy's about to learn that lesson in the most dramatic way possible, the bigger picture. While Ivy focuses on protecting Elektra's relationship, she might be missing the forest for the trees. Dylan's presence in Los Angeles could be part of something much larger than a simple love triangle. Whether she's connected to Sheila Carter running from a dangerous past or executing some elaborate revenge scheme against one of the families, the truth is bound to be explosive. And when it finally comes out, Ivy's going to realize that her concerns about Dylan seducing Will were the least of their problems. The real question now is whether Ivy's investigation will expose Dylan before she can do real damage, or if her amateur detective work will just push Dylan further into hiding. Either way, the beach house is about to become ground zero for some serious drama, and we're here for every scandalous second of it. Stay tuned, soap fans, this story is just getting started.